Hello, my name is Nicholas Rogers with the Big Timber Lodge, and I'm about to share with you why having a flashlight on your carry pistol just might save your life in a defensive situation. So in front of me I have an assortment of different brands and styles of everyday carry pistols. Now we could sit here and argue which one's better to have as your personal carry pistol, but that's not the point of this video. This video is to discuss why you should have a light on the end of your pistol versus not. Now, that's another discussion too as to how having a light is going to help you in a conceal and carry type environment. But I can assure you that with a striker or hammer fire slide style semi-automatic pistol, having this light can save your life in a defensive situation. Let me explain why. This is a Glock 43X. It is the most common purchased pistol in the United States. Now, what I'm about to show you requires that this pistol has no round in the chamber and no magazine, therefore making it clear and safe to use in a demonstration. This is a striker fired pistol, meaning you load a magazine into the grip of the pistol, a round will appear, and then you close the slide. Slide goes into battery, and you are now able to engage the trigger system into the striker firing system, which will hit the back of the primer, thus igniting the gunpowder and pushing the projectile out the end of the barrel. Now, what happens though if this slide is barely taken out of battery? Meaning, if after the round has been loaded into the chamber and the slide is pushed backwards just a little bit, will the pistol actually fire? No, it will not. Now, if I let that slide go back forward, it will shoot. But if I just move it slightly to the rear, the pistol is now rendered useless. So let's say I'm walking to my vehicle and all of a sudden I hear somebody coming up behind me rapidly. So I look over my shoulder and I see somebody with a blunt object or a knife. And in defense, I rotate around, and as I'm going to pull my pistol out, they jump on top of me and take me to the ground. What's going to happen as I try to pull that trigger? So let's imagine for a second that this person has fallen on top of me. Now I have all of their weight pressed against me, and I can't really move the pistol backwards because I'm laying on my back and there's no real room to move it. So now when I go to pull the trigger, nothing happens because the pistol has been taken out of battery just by pushing the slide back ever so slightly. I would have to figure out a way to be able to push my attacker off of me in order to get enough distance between the end of the barrel and the person's torso in order to squeeze that trigger. So as you saw, it did not take much to push this Glock 43X out of battery and make it useless in a defensive situation. Now, fun fact, it doesn't matter what brand or style of semi-automatic pistol you have. If it is a slide action pistol, it can be taken out of battery just the same way. Don't believe me? Well, take a look at this. This is a Springfield Armory XDS. Now, it is clear, no ammunition, no magazine, and if I close the slide and then just slightly push back on it, it now renders this pistol useless just like that Glock 43X was. So, let's move on to another pistol. Now, I said model as well because this is a Glock 47. Same pistol brand as the Glock 43X, but it's a full-size duty pistol. Once again, if I just push back on this slide ever so slightly, I now have a useless pistol and it won't be able to fire. What about a Walther? This is a Walther PPS. Once again, empty, no ammunition. I'm gonna push back on this slide ever so slightly. And you can see it is useless as well. Now, those are all striker fire pistols. What about a hammer fired pistol like this H&K P30? This H&K P30 has been cleared as well, and you can see there's a hammer, and that's actually how this pistol fires. Well, what happens if I push this slide back ever so slightly? Now, it is rendered useless as well. Pretty crazy. So, is there a way to combat this other than using, let's say, a revolver that doesn't have a slide? Well, yeah, there actually is. Get a flashlight. So this is an H&K VP9 SK, which is a striker fire pistol. And once again, if I just push back slightly on the slide, you can see that even this pistol is rendered useless. But what happens when I have a flashlight protruding out further than the slide and the barrel? Let's take a look at that defensive situation again, but using this carry setup. All right, so we're coming back into the same situation. My attacker is falling back on me, and I'm going to the ground, and now I have the pistol pressed into their torso. However, instead of having the end of the barrel and slide pressed into the end of their torso, I now have the end of the flashlight, which gives enough room between the barrel and their torso that it's not going to push my slide out of battery, and now I can engage the trigger, which will then make the striker firing system work correctly. Now, there might be a little bit of an issue with the slide cycling back into my chest, but it will cycle. It might be slightly painful, but it's going to at least allow me to get that first round off into my attacker, which will hopefully get them to roll off of me, allowing me to engage with more rounds to protect myself and those around me. So as you saw, what a completely different result by having this flashlight protrude out ever so slightly in front of the barrel and slide. It made it so that when I pushed this firearm into my attacker's chest, that his chest did not take the slide out of battery, rendering this pistol useless because now the flashlight was pushing into his torso, making this firearm work 100% of the time. Now, just because of that, I think it warrants having a flashlight on your everyday carry. But I also want to encourage you, if you have a flashlight on your firearm, make sure you actually have a separate flashlight that is part of your everyday carry setup as well. Because there have been too many times where people with flashlights on their pistols need a flashlight, and so therefore turn the flashlight on and start using the flashlight in a non-defensive situation, and they're pointing their firearm at things and people they do not intend to shoot. So just to ensure that that doesn't happen to you, carry an everyday carry flashlight as well. For me, I use the Olight Baton 3 Pro, and I find it to fit in my pocket very easily. I forget that it's there, but when I do need a flashlight, I'm pulling this out and not this. So, with that being said, I hope you learned something from this video and took away a good chunk of knowledge on how you can protect yourself if you are carrying a slide action semi-automatic pistol, whether it's striker fired or hammer fired, and know that having a flashlight on the end of that barrel will protect you if you are having to push that firearm into somebody's torso and prevent the slide from being taken out of battery. So please leave a like and a comment below, letting me know what you think, whether you already knew this information, because that will help me out in the algorithm, and also share this video with other friends and family so that they will be just as informed as you, and make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. That way, when I produce more videos with educational firearms training, you can be informed. So until next time, peace.